Hello, this is Darren from Iron Software. Today we're doing a short webinar on transforming data into insights. With me today is Shadman Majid, our software sales engineer. A little bit later on, he's going to be running through a couple of coding examples covering this topic today. First of all, we're going to have a look at the features page for IronPDF. This is just giving everyone a quick overview of the features of IronPDF. And then we're going to go into two specific use case examples of generating reports from templates, which has one code example, and automated form filling and management. Shevin has a following on to show that in practice. And there's a third one for editing PDF metadata. After the product demos, we're going to move on to just a brief overview of our product and licensing, and then open up to questions from viewers. So on to the next slide. So this is a copy of our features table taken from our website. On the website, it's split up into different sections of all of the capabilities of the library, ranging from creating PDFs from HTML, operations, converting PDFs, editing the PDFs, and then sort of more advanced things like digital signing. And yeah, we're very happy with the capabilities. You can see all of the features listed here. It really does make up a complete PDF toolkit. So every possible feature that you can need is packed in one product. Okay. If we move on to the next slide now. So our first use case is generating reports. So we've highlighted a couple of use cases here. These are taken from real-world customer examples that we've seen. So I'll list them out here. Patient reports and bills, investment summaries and invoices, order confirmation receipts, shipment tracking, delivery notes. So the example that Chapman is going to show you is filling in data from, say, a database or somewhere in your application, and then putting that data into a PDF with the use of like template placeholders. I'll let Chapman go into detail of that. I'll pass over to him now.
Thank you, Darren, for explaining the use cases in brief. All right, so as Darren already mentioned that inside the generating reports from templates, so we have a lot of functionalities that are actually very helpful for scaling up your report generation capabilities. So I'll be sharing my screen and actually going through some of the details of how we can actually generate reports from simple HTML templates and how we can scale the process so that it's helpful for actually not only generating one generic report, but actually scaling it for millions of customers at the same time. So what I'll be doing here is that I'll be taking in data from the C# application and filling in all of this data like the customer name, email, and the order details inside this HTML template and then converting it to PDF. Not only that, I'll also show that how we can insert images like maybe the company logo or maybe any analytic data like graphs or charts, whatever it is. So how we can also insert images into this template and then convert it to a PDF. So at first I'll just run the code and show you the output, and then I'll go more in details about how the code is going along or how the code is implemented. All right, so let me run the code first. So this is basically a C# console application where I have fit in three capabilities or three functionalities. One is the generating PDF from HTML template that I'll be showing you now. And later on, I'll also show you how we can automatically fill up any PDF acro form and also edit the PDF metadata from there. So I'll be choosing the first option, of course, where we'll be generating PDF from template. So choosing this. All right. So it shows that the PDF has been generated successfully. All right, so let's see the output from the output folder. So this is the output folder, but the invoice PDF is being generated. If I open it, perfect. So see, inside this PDF, what I found is that I have filled in the customer name, email, and the product details. Also, I have put in a logo image of our company, Iron Software, and completed the PDF in proper structured format. So how is it being done inside the code? Now I'll be showing this to you. So if I just once again recap about the actual template invoice, so it doesn't have any data like the customer related data or the order related data into it, but the final PDF, it has all this data. And now I'll be showing you how it's being done in the background. So in order to do the whole process, at first I have to implement two separate classes for filling in the data, like the customer and the order data, order related data. So for simplicity purpose, I have implemented a C# class that and a C# method create customer info that creates some customer data. You can also visualize it like you can extract this data from a database and then put it in this customer class, and it will work in the same way, of course. Similarly, for the orders, I have implemented an order class, and inside that there is a create orders method that actually creates a demo list of orders. That is the three orders that you saw, three rows that you saw in the PDF. All right, so this actually creates the orders in a systematic way. So at first I've generated this data that can be filled into the template. The next part to do is to actually build the template and fill in this data into the HTML template. So for that reason, I've implemented a template service class. So inside the template service class, so I have a build template method. So this build template method actually creates a simple HTML string template. And inside this template, as you can notice that there are some data that are like annotated where this needs to be filled up, like the customer name, the customer email, also the order rows, as you can see here. And also, since I've added an image, so there is an image tag property, the source property or the image path is not being mapped here, but it will be mapped dynamically when I'm actually using or referencing the data from the customer and order table and also from our application. All right. So the build template actually builds the simple HTML template, the template that you can see from here. This is the simple HTML template that is being built. All right. So if I go along once again, so at first I have generated the customer and order data from the customer and order class. Then I have taken the image path, the logo image path from our C# application local folder. Then I have built the HTML template using the build template method. So the next thing to do is to load the HTML template and fill in the data from the customer, orders, and the logo path variables. So that's exactly what we have done. So I've replaced the customer name, email, and logo source annotation using the customer data, the first name, last name, email, the logo path. And also, in order to generate the order rows, like the product details in terms of 3 rows, so I have also created, iterated over the orders class or the orders list and created the order rows, as in creating the HTML table rows in a systematic way. And that's also done like from the HTML content.replace method that replaces the order rows with the actual table rows from the order list. All right. So after all this is done, the rest of the work is very simple. I just reference the Chrome PDF renderer, that is the IronPDF native renderer that uses headless Chromium browsers or Chrome browsers in the background. And then I'll be calling the render HTML as PDF method that passes the HTML template and converts the template to a PDF. And finally, I'm saving it to a specific folder. So that's all that you need to do. There are 4 simple steps, if I can recap. At first, you have to generate the data, maybe from the database or maybe from your application. So for this reason, I have created the customers and orders class, and also to set the image, I have set the logo path, but you can also dynamically set any other image like graphs or charts, anything, any insightful data that you need to insert, that can also be done. So then I've built the template, that is the second step. The third step is I have replaced all the data of the template from the C# application that I got from the customer orders and logo table. And the last step, the fourth step, is to render the HTML template after replacing data to a PDF. So using these 4 simple steps, you can use one single template to generate not only one, but tens, thousands, hundreds, and even millions of reports over a week or monthly basis using IronPDF. So one single template can be used to generate data on a generic process for millions of similar use cases. And one of the most helpful thing is that in IronPDF, we are not only providing this functionality, but also we are providing optimizations, as in we support asynchronous processing and multi-threading, for which reason you can actually process thousands and billions of data at very high speed compared to many of your competitors. So I had all this to show you about the PDF template generation, PDF generation from HTML templates. And now once again, I'll be handing it over to Darren to explain another of our very key and core functionalities, that is automated form filling and management. To explain on that, and once again, I'll go through a live demo later on. So Darren, over to you.
Moving on, we have more real-world use cases. So, for example, we might have a patient form. This is going to be asking sort of standard questions about, name, details about the person, insurance claims, loan applications, tax forms. Tax forms is a great example, or loan applications. For a large standardized PDF document that you need to fill in the form fields for, you're not going to want to do that individually for each claimant or applicant. So we can use IronPDF to take the information that we have about the applicant and then automatically fill in each of those forms, whether it's a text field, so a radio button, a list item. All of that can be done programmatically with IronPDF. So you take the data and it updates the form, and it's done almost instantly, saves you time, effort, and it's all done without any mistakes. So yeah, I think we can move on to actually seeing that in practice. Very excited to see that.
Yeah, thank you, Darren, once again for the introduction of the use cases of automated form filling and management. And indeed, it's very, very useful because in the real world scenarios, we have to deal with a lot of customer forms and those sort of details, and doing it manually for each and every form, it actually becomes a nightmare if it needs to be done. So moving on to that, using IronPDF, so we have the functionality of filling up forms dynamically from the C# application data or any application data, or maybe from any database data. You can do it dynamically. Not only that, you can also manage the form fields, like edit the form fields, remove the form fields, and also flatten the form fields for efficiency. And finally, you can also edit the PDF metadata, set the orientation and paper sizes as per your use case need. So now I'll be showing you a live demo about how we can do that using IronPDF. And already in the screen, you have been seeing that I have a PDF form, PDF acro form, to be more exact, in my screen. And this form is being used to fill up data from C# application and fill in there. So in this form, I have separate fields like the first name, last name, email, phone number, age, and gender. So there are the text box and radio button options, but of course, as Darren mentioned, that we also support the other complex input options like lists, check boxes. So all the standard input options are supported for filling in data inside the PDF acro form. So just like before, I'll be once again just running the code at first to just show the output of how the form is being filled, and then I will get into details of the code. So once again, I will run my console application. All right. Yep. So now I'll be running my console application. So now I'll be choosing the option 2 because now I'll automatically fill up the PDF form. So let's choose option 2. Perfect. So it says that the filled up form successfully. So now let's see what the filled up form looks like. Okay, great. Now you can see that the filled up PDF form. So it has all the data filled up, the first name, last name, email, phone number, age, and the gender radio button selected correctly. So now let's see how it goes along in the code. Yeah. So for simplicity purpose, I have reused the customer class for filling in the customer data here as well. So the customer class, as you can remember that we used a create customer info method to generate the customer data like the first name, last name, phone, age, gender, and email. And using that, we are feeding it into our acro form, PDF acro form, and filling up the fields. So how does it go along? So in terms of seeing the demonstration in the code, so let's go to the form service class. So the form service class is basically used for filling up the form with customer data. So at first I have loaded the template form, that is the original form, the acro form. This is the example acro form that I was talking about. So I've loaded the form, then created or taken the customer data from the create customer info method. You can also extract data from your database and then fit into this customer class as you can wish. So then I have extracted the form property of the PDF. So this PDF form, of course, has a form property. And in IronPDF, we have very simple method named the find form field that has the capability of extracting any form field based on the form's name or the form field's name. Like if I just once again reference back to the form, so the first name, last name, email, each of these fillable fields, they have a specific name associated with it. And you can actually extract these form fields details by calling in the find form field method and passing in the form field name. So for this reason, for this demo purpose, I have just extracted the form fields, and in order to set the value, just I need to do only one single line for each of the functionalities. So what I have done is I have found the form field, then set the value property with the value that I got from the customer class. That's as simple as it is. Just getting the value from the customer class and setting it into the form field. So all of these 6 lines, I have just done the same thing for first name, last name, whether it's age, email, or gender, whatever it is, done the same thing. And finally, I have saved the PDF output as a new PDF using the filled up form property. So that's as simple as it is. So following very simple steps, first extracting the form object from the PDF form, then filling up the form fields using the find form field method and setting the value from the customer data class. That's all about it. Okay, so I think that once again, if I just want to more elaborate on this use case. So when you are actually faced with the task of like you have, for example, in a healthcare practice, you might have millions of patients' data and they need to be filled up in a table. They need to be fed it into a form. So if you have to do it manually each and every time, so it not only becomes very much cumbersome in terms of time, but also it becomes very much error prone. But using IronPDF, you can automate the whole process very simply using this simple yet powerful feature of form filling. And another thing is that it also supports not only filling up the forms, but you can also edit the form fields. Like you can remove certain form fields, add certain form fields to make the form more customizable and seamless. That's necessary for your use case. One more thing that I wanted to show you is that when you are actually processing with this heavy volume of forms, sometimes it's also necessary to edit the metadata of the forms or the metadata associated with the forms, so that it can be helpful later on. So when you can actually save those forms and sort those data, search those data based on the metadata, or you can extract important information from the metadata. So for extracting data from the metadata object and also editing the metadata, I'll be showing you one more single demo, very simple demonstration of the form. So the filled up form that I already have in here. So what we'll be doing is I'll be editing or setting some metadata in this filled up form, and I'll be showing how it looks like. So let's run the example once again. Okay, so let's choose option 3 because I'll be editing PDF metadata. So choose the option 3. All right, and the console application says the PDF metadata has been edited. So let's go to the output. This is the metadata edited output. I'll be opening it in Chrome just to show you the metadata output. Yeah. So now if I click on the document properties, so see the PDF title is being set, the PDF author name is being set, the application name is being set. So all these data have been set using metadata. And now I'll be showing you how these metadata can be set in any PDF using very simple lines of codes, once again using IronPDF. All right. So if I just scroll down, I have a method named the edit PDF metadata. And inside this, what I'm doing is I've taken the target PDF, and inside there is a metadata property. From there, I can set the metadata values like the author name, the title, the creator, the creation time, and many other metadata properties that can be set directly using this. And this is particularly very helpful, like if you want to save the metadata based on specific customer names, customer IDs, invoice names, or invoice IDs, so that these metadata are being stored in the PDF in the background. And later on, if you want to sort or search for any PDF data or document using the metadata, it becomes very helpful to search from this. So just by doing these very simple lines of functionalities or codes, so you can also achieve this functionality. So using IronPDF, if I recap, you can automate your form filling processes and very seamlessly, and also the form management process that also becomes much more easier and seamless than before. And just to reiterate on both of our use cases, so we actually support all of the C#, Visual Basic .NET, F# platforms. Alongside that, we support the .NET Standard 2.0 plus and the onwards functions, .NET Framework 4.6.2 and onwards versions as well. Not only that, IronPDF is also available through Java, Python, and Node.js if you want to integrate that in your backend application. All right, so that's all from my side regarding the live coding demos and all the demonstrations of the powerful key features that we were discussing about. So once again, I'll pass it to Darren so he can actually explain more in details about IronPDF's licensing and pricing, along with the capabilities and the options. So over to you once again.
Thanks, Shadman. Yeah, so we're going to give a quick overview of IronPDF's licensing. To start with, we have four tiers. These go from light, plus, professional, up to unlimited. The differentiators are based on the number of developers, projects, and locations. Location is a city where your developers are developing the project. So with each level, the level of support that is offered increases, going from email support with the light license, introducing live chat with plus, screen sharing support starts at professional level, and once you reach unlimited, then we have Slack Connect, so you have direct connection with our support teams, engineers, right in your common messaging app, Slack. We have royalty-free distribution options. These are available from Plus and up, with SDK available on Professional Unlimited. These are for applications and projects that constitute SaaS services, OEM software that you're selling or distributing to clients, SaaS services as well. With each license, we include 1 year free of software updates and support. This is what allows you to connect with our support team and to continue updating the products to each version we release, which is typically every month. So it's good to keep up with all the improvements that are coming out. We also have a 5-year extended package that is available from the initial purchase. This is a best value option. Currently, we have a sale on. So for March, we're offering 33% off the Plus Professional Unlimited Team licenses. That's good to take advantage of. It's a limited time offer. All of our licenses are one-time fee, perpetual licenses. So you purchase a license once and you can then use it forever with those versions released during the 1 year or the 5 years. We're so confident with our licensing that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. And that rarely ever comes in a refund. Our licensing is simple, easy to understand. We provide one license key for all environments, and that's I'd say a quick overview of our licensing. I move on to the next slide now, is our Iron Suite pricing. If you were to flip back and you'd see that the pricing for Iron Suite is double what IronPDF is, but you're actually getting 10 products. So 10 products for the price of 2. That's our complete library of document creation, processing libraries. So it's a great way to make one purchase and you've got all of your document handling needs covered with one library, one set of libraries.
Okay, so let's see the questions. Okay, so the first question that has come up is a very, very interesting question, that can you use IronPDF with Power BI? So Power BI, as you all know, that's a very powerful tool for business intelligence and analytics. And of course, I think it's very relevant to the current webinar that we're having, that how we can transform data into insights, and how like Power BI or similar type of softwares, if that can be, those data can be fed into IronPDF and maybe used to generate reports and that sort of stuff. So basically, I'd like to say that, yeah, it's possible to integrate or use IronPDF with a Power BI. So I'd not say that we can directly plug it in with the IronPDF with the Power BI repository, but the way you can do it is that, suppose you have a C# application and you can like access the data from Power BI using an API, like any usage data or any sort of data or any sort of report. So you can extract those data in HTML format or maybe just normally in plain text format using an API. And afterwards, using those data, you can actually format it to HTML or any different template formats, and then finally generate PDF reports. So basically, it's possible to use the Power BI data to generate reports or generate different type of documents for analytics and insights using IronPDF. Not only that, there is another way, like if you want to schedule PDF report generations, like you can run an external C# application that fetches the Power BI data from time to time, maybe on a daily basis, hourly basis, or weekly basis. And then based on that, you can generate the PDFs at scheduled intervals. So if I just sum it up about all of it, so yes, IronPDF can be plugged in to reflect the functionalities or reflect the insights generated from Power BI, and it can be finally demonstrated as PDF reports or PDF documents based on your use case. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. I think if there is any other question, moving on to the next one. So of course, please feel free to ask your questions as you have, and yeah, we're here to support you. Okay, so another question that has come up is regarding I'm choosing between IronPDF and SyncFusion for form filling. So why should I choose IronPDF? Okay, so I think that's a very common question that I have, that we face from like many of our customers. So SyncFusion, as you may already know, that is another one of the like popular PDF manipulation libraries in the market, and also supports the form filling features that IronPDF has. but like how is it different? Like why IronPDF is like more suitable for your needs rather than Syncfusion. So I'd like to highlight these things in a few points. So one of the most important parts is that I've already showed you during our live coding demo that how simple and how seamless and intuitive our IronPDF APIs are. So when you are manipulating with forms, in general, like talking about acro forms, editing forms, managing the forms, so it has a lot of internal like machine coding and that sort of stuff embedded into it. But using our simple and intuitive APIs in IronPDF, you do not have to worry about all of it. You can just intuitively call the APIs for finding the form fields, editing the form fields, or like editing the metadata, and all it's being done is very simple. But like if you talk about libraries like Syncfusion, so the APIs and the methods, they are much more complicated than IronPDF. So like when we're trying to adapt to a third-party tool, like in your application, and you have to have a separate steep learning curve for learning that library separately. So it actually becomes very hard and time consuming. So in that case, actually IronPDF edges far ahead from Syncfusion. Another example that I would like to highlight regarding that is that in IronPDF, the HTML to PDF conversion functionality that we provide along with all those. So natively, the IronPDF support is like much more stronger or much more seamless than Syncfusion. And another thing in terms of the dependency management, because like when you are integrating a third-party tool in your application like IronPDF or Syncfusion, so one important thing comes up is regarding the library's dependency management. So IronPDF is very easily pluggable, like just installing one single NuGet package inside your application and you are good to go. So you do not have to worry about working out of the box to manage all sort of dependencies and going like installing multiple packages and making them work together through different versions. So no headache about that. So if you want to go through a lightweight solution, making life easier by installing an external dependency, so of course IronPDF is a much preferred solution than Syncfusion, because if you want to install the Syncfusion libraries, it becomes much more heavier in your application, and also the problem or the pain point of managing all those dependencies, it also comes into the picture. Darren, is there anything that I have missed in terms of?
Those are all important technical points. Along with the simplicity of the IronPDF API, I would highlight our documentation and our support as being above Syncfusion. Our documentation is extensive, but it's also accessible and easy to read. And again, our support team are almost always available 24 hours a day, and we're there to assist with live support on live chat, responsive to emails. I am not so sure of Syncfusion. I believe they have a free support forum where you can be supported by your peers, but not necessarily their team directly. So yeah, support with Iron Software is definitely above and beyond our competitors.
No.
Yeah. Do we have any more questions? No more questions. Okay. Yeah, well, I guess we'll wrap that up. Thank you, Shadman, for your time today. That was very insightful. I hope that everyone has learned something. I definitely have. I'm not a programmer, but I could probably get started and use IronPDF as you've demonstrated. So yeah, thank you very much. And thank you to all our viewers. Hope to see you again next time.